Back here on CBS Sports HQ, as the Missouri Tigers literally run up on Arkansas in a rivalry game, Cody Schrader went off. 217 rushing yards on the night, and he now is the third leading rusher in school program history when it comes to those stats. For a single season, that is, to be clear. 48-14. Let me not shortchange them, those 7 points. As Schrader, he could not be stopped. The line was playing excellently. They were playing excellent ball. Luther Burden did his thing. Brady Cook, he didn't have to do a whole lot in this game. And Razorbacks, oof, only 14 points, and all of those came in the second half. All right, Chris Williamson here with CBS Sports college football analyst and former Louisiana running back Emory Hunt. And Emory, where do you want to start? Because these brothers dominated in every single aspect of the game. Special teams, they got turnovers. Defense, they got turnovers. And on offense, Arkansas had no answer for Schrader or Brady Cook.
Yeah, here's the thing, man. When you think about Schrader and what he was able to do, he ran, and you know it's Native American Heritage Month.
Yes.
He ran from Chapatula to Pascagoula down south doing his thing on the ground. 217 yards rushing. That's outstanding. And when you think about his story coming from Division II Truman State to Missouri, a Power 5 program in the SEC. Last year he spent getting acclimated to the jump up in competition. This year he's running with confidence. He's doing his thing, and he's been phenomenal running the football. He's now made himself a semifinalist for the Doak Walker Award, which is the top running back of the year. So when you think about the list of backs that we've seen come through Missouri, and Brad Smith obviously was a quarterback. When you think about these running backs, Tyler Beatty was phenomenal. Schrader has been lights out box office for this Tigers program. Very impressed. I enjoy watching him run. And I tweeted this out back in September or October. He's the best in pass pro in the country. So this is a guy that does it on both ends of offense.
Yeah, and that's what you want to see. Not somebody who's just going to be excited for them to run the ball, but also to protect the QB when needed. Got to be very unselfish. As impressive as he was, what about the defense? We thought we might get a shutout in this game. Of course, that doesn't happen, but they don't get enough appreciation in my eyes, brother.
Now, hear me out. This was a very good defensive performance, don't get me wrong, but there's an asterisk by it because KJ Jefferson wasn't in the game.
Brother, they were not going to win. Hold up. They were not going to win.
They knocked him, but they knocked him out early in that ball game. That was the biggest injury. You see right here, you're going to hear a lot about the hip drop tackle or whatnot, and I hope he's okay because he's one of my favorite NFL draft prospects in the draft. But him being out the game, you lose a sense of toughness, a guy that can make plays above the X's and O's. But yes, outside of that, you still got to step up and play. But, man, talk about him not being in the game. That was a huge loss for Arkansas. But to your point, Missouri's defense really came into the game, had it on their mind, and even deep into the fourth quarter was trying to protect that shutout, but they just couldn't get it done. But, yes, this was a very good defensive performance from top to bottom. But you have to always mention that little asterisk.
Right.
But outside of that, yeah, they put together a dominant performance.
They probably would have still won, of course.
True.
But the score probably was going to be like 41-25, maybe. But let's look at the large picture here, Emory. This is a team that went 6-7 last year in the SEC. Now they have their first 10-win season since 2014. What have you seen, or what do you attribute for the defining factor for why they have had such a huge turnaround?
Stability at quarterback. Brady Cook has been one of my favorite players to watch the last couple of seasons. It was this game last year where I became the biggest Brady Cook fan on how he stepped in and played well against Arkansas. He did a great job pulling off that win last year in Columbia, and now this season he's been outstanding from start to finish. And because they are able to run the football, they were able to do that last year. Their defense has always been quietly good within the front seven. Now you add stability at quarterback. Missouri was playing complete team ball all season long. So when Cook became their starter and really leveled out his play, we saw Missouri start to elevate. Remember, when they jumped in the SEC, they were representing the SEC East, in the SEC title game. So it's good to see them get back to being a very good program, because this is one of those programs that recruit heavily in that St. Louis area, and there's a lot of talent coming out St. Louis, i.e. Schrader was someone they should have got on when he was coming out of high school, but they got him the second time around, Shalimar style, and he did a great job running the football. But Cook, to me, has been a difference.
Right, but what does this do? You mentioned recruiting. What does this do for the overall excitement for incoming recruits and potential recruits, where they see that Missouri is now a team that can hang with the big boys? Because remember, they were leading in the second half against Georgia at one point. I know they lost, but their losses were to the most likely Heisman winner and then the #1 team in the country. So what does it do for this recruiting aspect?
Oh, it's going to help them out significantly, because when you think about going into these high schools in East St. Louis and going around that footprint of recruiting, and now with NIL, you kind of have to be a national recruiting program. Missouri is going to be one of those programs that you're going to see become a little bit more consistent now that they are able to stabilize the quarterback position. Cook has one more season, I believe, but if they're able to backfill that position with some more talent like him and what they've already been able to cultivate up front along both sides of the line of scrimmage, they're going to be here to stay. We won't see that drop-off like we saw from them when they first got into the SEC to where they are now.
The Missouri Tigers trending upwards. He's always trending upwards. Just look at the suit. And we've got more reaction coming from Arkansas on site as we recap a dominant Black Friday performance from everybody involved on that Tigers team. Stay with us. We'll be right back.